Nice cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah, I've got Kid over here in the peanut gallery. And I was surprised in some ways how little coverage there was even today on the committee about the UAPs. And for those who were trying to say that it was a diversion tactic, I don't know that it was. Because
we all know that it was.
I don't know that it was. We there for a moment it was like, okay, maybe this is trying to cover up the Hunter Biden whatever. Well, it didn't work, and for mainstream media to go after the Hunter Biden case, and cover this up. That's your smoking gun. That's to tell you that this actually was the real story. And on the previous video, which we just got to give a very brief whatever because we're just exhausted. We don't usually have company, and company doesn't usually stay till those hours. And by that point, I was exhausted. Kid was exhausted. It was just craziness. But it was about an hour that I was looking for certain information and could not find it. And so I started.
You scoured the internet.
I did. I started looking again today and still couldn't find it. And these were supposed to be news reports. Now, back when I was in high school, and we had our little, class of 34, 36 kids for real. But
what's wrong with that?
I had an English teacher who was college level. She really was. And was very upset that I didn't go into journalism. But it was a matter of who, what, where, when, why, and how. That is the basis of a news report or a news article. It used to be. Which is why nobody knows shit about shit now, is because it's not about journalism. It's all editorial. It's all propaganda. And with this, even when on the C-SPAN YouTube page, the full congressional hearing was not there. I hadn't never had a need to go on the C-SPAN YouTube page, but it's all these little sound bites.
Just sound bites.
And I thought, that's weird. That's just weird. Par for the course, but weird.
Question, did you go to the part where it was like live stream?
No, I did not. I did not go to the live stream on C-SPAN. I went to videos because it looked like if it was no longer live, that it would have been under the category of video.
No, they count that as past live stream, so it's still under the category of
Okay, well, we can do this then. Because if I am in error, I will definitely go ahead and correct that.
Because I've done that too, where I've looked for stuff and I just now thought about that.
In different tabs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to, while we're here, let's see if it says under live.
You get to see us fact check ourselves.
That's
live.
perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. And
correct. If I'm mistaken.
No, you're right. You're right, because they do have the, hours. Because C-SPAN, if you've never sat and watched Congress in action, it's like watching paint dry on some things, but it's also important.
Yeah.
And but there are people that they choose that as a career to sit there and listen to these things.
And why?
Because they're supposed to then convey the information back to the general populace who may not have 5 hours to sit and watch whatever.
This is the only time that that Congress actually said something of value within the past 3 years.
Well, no, it actually aggravates the shit out of me. And I'm looking here now, and all of it is this, you talk about dog and pony show. Oh my God. And let me go through here. I don't know. It's like why is she doing this? It's not there.
That live stream's not there?
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. But
See if it's on the other one, because I couldn't find it on the other one.
on the videos, I mean, like I said, this is on C-SPAN. And they have on the videos, they've got where Mitch McConnell, Turtle Man, his skin suit glitched.
It did.
They do have some sound bites from the UAP hearing, but they don't have the full thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is fucked up.
It is. Which is why I will include, again, the link from the YouTube channel. It's called The Independent. I don't know whether it is or not, but that's what I watched it.
On there, 'cause I looked for it and I couldn't find it.
What?
On the Independent. See,
That's what I've got it on now. That's what I was using as my source earlier.
Okay, because when I looked, I couldn't find it.
As far as my link, you went to my link and it didn't pull up?
No, as far as like...
Anytime that if I give you all a link that doesn't work, let me know and I'll try to correct that.
You know the channel that you found?
Yes.
I went to the channel and I couldn't find it.
Did you click the link on our video? Because I always put the link in the description box.
No, I didn't click that. I typed it up. My bad. I actually went and typed it up myself.
But it was very telling. Even, like I said, the regular... I know I go to like tabloid-esque things because they're the ones that carry the weird shit that we usually discuss. But this is not. It is weird shit, but this is serious weird shit.
Yeah.
And you would think that some of the main, whatever, supposed news outlets would carry some of this stuff. Very little.
Very little.
So I had to put in is it seat work, I guess, to sit here and go through the video. And thank God for youngest kid, because I had the closed caption on after 30 minutes of listening to 41 seconds of the subcommittee chairman, Glenn Grothman. 41 seconds, and he was talking so fast, and I'm like, oh God, I hear slower than I used to. And so it's like, okay, closed captions, which are iffy, but then it was like ants had crawled on the screen, and kid was able to enlarge the font, and the mama was grateful. Oh God, I was grateful. But what I needed to know on this, now this actual, the actual name of the hearing was Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, Implications on National Security, Public Safety, and Government Transparency. That was the actual name of the hearing.
Yeah.
And even on the government sites and stuff like that, there was no transcript, no nothing. Why? The transparency, and there's no damn transcript? Are you serious?
But they said that. They talked about that in the hearing.
Yeah.
And how media will not report it.
Yeah. And the government itself is not wanting this information out there. So, going back and listening to this, and it took, about 3 hours? Something like that. I can now tell you, and I had at one point remembered this, but not before I got into doing this. There are a total of 435 people in the 118th Congress. Okay, when you're trying to find the names and the states that these people represent, because during the hearing they had a little placard that had their last name, and that was it. That was it.
That's all.
So it was a matter of having to go back through, try to find out these people's full names, trying to find out what state they were from, which side of the aisle. I didn't care which side of the aisle. I really didn't. But it's like, I refuse to let this beat me. Yes, because we're in Leo season.
Yes.
So I can now tell you that the subcommittee chairman was Glenn Grothman. He's a Republican from Wisconsin. Members of the committee also included Tim Burchett, who's a Republican from Tennessee. He and Paulina Luna, who's a Republican from Florida, they were some of the main ones that got this together. They were diligent on this.
Which good on them.
Absolutely.
Because if it wasn't for them, nothing would have been done.
Exactly. And even amongst themselves, they were discussing, as far as all the people that were there were discussing how infuriating it is in Washington, D.C., that nobody knows shit about shit. Mm-hmm. And that if you try to find information, you can't.
Yeah.
And it's like anymore when you do a web search. Back in the old days of internet, now you did have to, it was binary code, for real. You had to specify everything exactly, or you got some really weird search results. Then there for a while, you could type in whatever, and it would give you, you could get it just sort of kind of close, and you would get what you were looking for.
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's gone back to the other. For real. For real.
Why?
I don't know. But members of the committee included Burchett from Tennessee, Miss Luna. You had Matt Gaetz, maybe Gaetz, from a Republican from Florida. Eric Burleson, who is a Republican from Missouri. He was the one that, he was the only one that I had a problem with asking some of it, because there were times that he had almost a mocking, smirking expression.
He did. Very much.
And it's like, dude, don't be a dick. I mean, it's hard enough for these people. These people are putting their asses on the line to get out here and talk about this stuff.
They are.
He was, like I said, he was the only one who did that. You had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm going to say. Andy Ogles, I think is his name. He was a Republican, another one from Tennessee. And then you had the National Security Subcommittee ranking member, Robert Garcia, who is a Democrat from California. And he did an excellent job. He really did. And him to have the empathy of what it took for these men to come forward to discuss these things.
Yeah. It took a lot of courage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's why I didn't appreciate dude from Missouri, the show me state. Well, you showed your ass is what you did, dude.
For real, he did.
And it's like, these people, anybody who has had the experience of seeing a UFO, UAP, alien, whatever, and God love them, those folks who have had the abduction experiences, they have gone through hell for years. You know, Travis Walton, my God, that man, it took like 12 years or more before members of his community would even basically accept him again.
Yeah.
Without thinking that he was some kind of a crackpot.
Even though he went missing for God knows how long.
Yeah,
no explanation.
Right. Right. So, that was not appreciated, Burleson. You need a little bit of an attitude check on that. Jared Evan Moskowitz, who's a Democrat from Florida. Jamie Raskin, Democrat from Maryland. Maxwell Alejandro Frost, Democrat from Florida. Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona. Nancy Mace, Republican from South Carolina. And Nick Langworthy, who is a Republican from New York. So those were the elected officials who were asking the questions and stuff. And I am going to put in the description box if somebody says who was there. Now, I will tell you the list is not in order, because at a certain point I was exhausted trying to go back and do this stuff. But if somebody wants to find a specific name, what they said, what their question was, hopefully this will help somebody if they want to do a deeper dive on it. And Tim Burchett asked a lot of questions, and he was the one that had made the comment that they were not allowed in the skiff. And I'm like, what the hell is a skiff? And what it is a sensitive compartmented information facility, SCIF. And it is a U.S. Department of Defense term for a secure room. It can be a data center or a secure room that guards against electronic surveillance and suppresses data leakage of sensitive military and secretive information. SCIFs are used to deny unauthorized personnel, such as foreign intelligence services or corporate spies, the opportunity for undetected entry into facilities for the exploitation of sensitive activities. So you had the Pentagon and the military-industrial complex, which Eisenhower warned people of, that are denying elected officials access, saying that they don't have clearance.
Yeah, even though they're elected officials who definitely do have clearance.
Well, this is part of the problem, and this was part of what was revealed during this hearing, which was massively important. These people are the shadow government, these are the deep state, and they did discuss how these programs are being funded financially, which is by misappropriation of funds. That monies, tax monies that are supposed to be collected from one program are going to these shadow programs. Even as far as government spending, that back in the day, this whatever it was, $200 and some hammer. Yeah, that used to be a joke. And the toilet seats that cost like $500. It was some, and I'm being hyperbolic. I can't remember exactly. It was stupid. But when they were overcharging for these things, this also went to fund these shadow programs.
It did, because
they told this during this hearing.
They got a lot of funding that is unaccounted for.
The Pentagon, I think at one point a few weeks ago had said that there were like so many $1 trillion unaccounted for. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, very much.
That is a huge problem, especially when you've got the average people that are struggling. Yeah. Now, the witnesses that were there, all of them were former military, which again, David Grusch, David Fravor, that was the Tic Tac dude. I like him, and it was a matter of Marine, and I'm like, I should have known. It's like Semper Fi, dude. Ryan Graves. And now, Ryan Graves had mentioned Tom DeLonge. And for those of you who may not know, Tom DeLonge was the lead singer of the group Blink-182 back in the day. Yes. And DeLonge very much got into the UFO reporting and what's the word I'm searching for, kid? Investigation. Yeah. He's been involved in that for a very long time. He's been very open and has taken a whole hell of a lot of guff, including, I do believe, from the likes of Joe Rogan. Which why does anybody care what Joe Rogan thinks, really?
He was on X Factor. What the fuck is he
I think he's an okay dude. I think he's inquisitive. I do think he's intelligent. He asks some good questions. But it's like, he's just a person like everybody else. Why does his opinion matter more than anybody else's?
It doesn't.
Right. And the one person that I did find that was discussing the aftermath of the hearing was, oh God, I can't believe I didn't put the name of the channel down. It's a rock feed. That's the name of it. Good little channel. Dude is pretty awesome. And I do have a link for that video for you. And the title that he had was Blink-182's Tom DeLonge's Terrifying Alien Predictions Are Coming True. And I got distracted and I didn't listen to the whole video. But he was one of the few that actually bothered to even report about something.
What was his predictions?
I don't know. I really don't know. I thought it was interesting that behind the witnesses there in the audience and stuff was Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. Kid and I had noticed that yesterday after we were watching it and stuff. I don't know I don't think we said that in yesterday's video, but and may have gotten Corbell's last name wrong. I call him various and sundry because, yeah. But George Knapp, again, he was the one that was the reporter that, God love him, Bob Lazar went to.
How bizarre.
And the reason that Bob Lazar went and spoke publicly was he figured that he had less of a chance of being unalived by the shadow government if he went public with it.
Yeah, because that is his saving.
And where it kept him alive, the scrutiny and scorn and all that stuff that man has endured. Corbell did do a documentary about Lazar that we watched. It's not a good documentary because Corbell, it's like, honey, make it about somebody else other than you. Nobody cares about you walking around your tattooed self barefoot. But Lazar had said, had he known what the ramifications of him being a whistleblower would be, that he would have kept silent. And that was something that all these witnesses discussed over and over, is there are ways to kill a person and leave them still breathing. You can kill a person financially. You can kill their reputation. All these different things. And so when you've got these career military people, when you've got some of these commercial airline pilots and stuff like that somebody can come back and say, oh, you're not fit to fly because you're having hallucinations. Because they did say that these corporations, they don't give a shit about the safety of the passengers. And so it was one of these that the way of reporting these, encounters, this committee is hoping to make a way to where people can do that and be believed without putting their lives at jeopardy. Grusch did say that he knew that of people that had been unalived, not only by shadow government peoples, but also by these non-human entities. That's sobering.
That is fucked up because, and you're right, that is sobering. Because being threatened by non-human.
Yeah.
I think the fuck not.
And because that they did bring in there, it's not a matter, that these are interdimensional beings. Have the possibility of being interdimensional beings.
There's multiple of them. There's multiple species of alien.
There was a hell of a lot more information in this. Like I said, it was 2 hours and 25 minutes. And I've watched it at this point twice. Well, then some.
Yeah.
The 41 seconds for about 3 hours. It was breathtaking. It really was. And then you've got these people in the media that it's just this la la la, the royals do this, oh God, they've got a headline now, they back on the Trump thing. Now you talk about just trying to shut up the truth and doing it quickly. Now for weeks they went on with this, oh, this hearing is coming up, this person said this, and that person, and then the information came out and what they really said, and then there was crickets. That's very telling. So I urge everybody to go and listen to this hearing, listen to what these people had to say. And I'm one of these, as far as whether it's, and did the different, the Republicans and the Democrats take some few pot shots at each other and say, oh, well, shit, yeah, they do that. I don't care. I don't care what name they've got behind what letter they've got behind their name. I care about whether they love this country and are trying to help the people of this nation. Because we are at war. We are being destroyed from within right now. That concerns me. And then to have the possibility that you've got these non-human species, which we knew this. We knew that was behind that all the time.
They said it was a threat.
Yeah.
and that we're going to have to do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the...
So that means we're going to be going to war with aliens.
No, that it's not that. That was how it was under that guise, how they got this hearing to happen. How they got that information out. As far as national threat, well, hell yeah. Because if you've got something that can blink in and out of dimensions, and that was, God, like I said, I love David Fravor. He's a hoot. I bet he would just be, to sit around and have a cup of coffee with him and just listen to him.
Yeah.
And...
because you said he was full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah, he was a pilot. I mean, you've got to have... it takes a different breed of human to be some of these pilots.
Did you not say that he was full of piss and vinegar?
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to be full of piss and vinegar sometimes. But for him to sit there and go, there would be no way that we would have any kind of defense against something like this. That's massive.
Yeah, we're defenseless against these beings.
Yeah.
But of course they are. They're not human.
Right.
They're unearthly.
Right. But there were so many things that were uncovered during that. And like I said, these people, I'm not going to shit on anybody that was there other than the guy from Missouri. That's one thing, it's pretty bad. At least AOC did not act bad towards the witnesses.
No, but why was she on
She
there?
just I don't know why she was on there. I really don't. It did.
hurt
It made my hair hurt. We couldn't even. We couldn't. But at least she didn't sit there and smirk.
No, she actually took it seriously.
She did take it seriously. And the dude from Missouri appeared to not. So now that's, my God, if somebody's like, you acting worse than AOC, I don't agree with everything that either side says because it's all a uniparty. Most of it is a dog and pony show, even as far as this. But when you see these people asking the questions and these people answering the questions, I did not detect any deception. Now, we do strongly suspect Grusch of being maybe one of the good reptilians.
You said he was a
Gecko.
gecko.
He looks like a gecko.
I think his eyes are a little too close together for a gecko.
Well, he's got a human suit on,
Still.
But as far as Graves and Fravor, no, they had this, yeah. But all of these people know that they could be unalived.
Very quickly.
Yeah. So we, at least
They
I
said
can,
it.
yeah.
They said it on there.
Yeah, they did say it. We can provide you, our little pirate radio ship can provide you with a list of the people that participated in this hearing. Yeah.
We got evidence.
Well, it's just a matter of
We got
letting
sources.
somebody be able to know what happened on this. No, I wasn't going to sit there and type a full damn transcript. I couldn't even make it past the 31 seconds. I mean, the 41 seconds. That was crazy.
People expect cliff notes in YouTube videos.
I understand that.
Or as someone called them, clef notes.
Oh, God, help. Anyhow. Kid from over there in the peanut gallery, final comments.
They real.
Yeah.
It's official.
And it was the day that the
Earth
paradigm...
Earth stood still.
Well, that the paradigm of what we think of as our reality shifted. It really did. And yet you've got people that are not paying attention. Of course, we've had people that were purposefully... These people have been numbed. They've been blinded. They've been dumbed down for a long time. And honestly, have some pity on them. Don't get to where that they can hurt you, because some of these people, as far as the violence that's erupting, that's on purpose.
Yeah.
And between now and 2024, my God, it's just prayers for everything and everybody. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Email address is there in the description box. And like I said, I will put the list of the people in the description box. I've got links that will be there in the description box. Yeah, because I old school. I don't do the full journalism thing myself these days much. But I thought, I can't find it. I need this. By God, I'll do it myself. Little red hen.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
scream out your thing from over there. You don't want to scream it out.
If you like this video, there you go. You can continue.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
click that notification button.
It's the little people. Those of us that can fly under the radar with our 1.5 mile pirate radio radius. Know that you're loved, and Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cut. Bye.